Nintendo announcement for a Mother 3 localization? Hey everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today we're going to be talking about 2018 E3. Yes, a little late to the party. I know everybody else has uploaded their E3 thoughts videos, but here is mine, and so I'm going to get straight to the point with this. You know, I thought E3 was very underwhelming this year. That's just, again, this is all opinions, so somebody could have watched it and, you know, every single game they've ever dreamed of was announced, but for me, that was not the case. And I have seen E3s in the past where, you know, I'm like, my jaw is dropping and I'm like freaking out, and I'm watching a conference and actually yelling like with excitement, like, oh my god, I can't even believe it. This year it was just fairly weak. No amazing jaw droppers, nothing, you know. There were a few good things, and we're going to talk about that, and then we're just going to talk about a few negatives, because I don't want to dwell on that. Let's just talk about the games that were exciting. Disclaimer, I'm only going to be discussing games I have an interest in, so I'm not talking about every single game that was released. That just seems like, what's the point of that? We're only going to be talking about the games I had any interest in whatsoever. We have a new Mario Party on the way, Super Mario Party in fact, and it's for Switch, and I think honestly it has a lot of potential. I think it looks great. You know, this is pretty standard of Nintendo to have a new Mario Party come out. Like, this is not incredible news here. It was fairly expected, so I'm excited. Regardless of it being expected and whatever, I am excited. I really like Mario Party. I think they're really fun. Me and my husband love playing it with other people. I have no issues with that. I'm excited to get one on the Switch, so it's generally a big thumbs up for me. Nintendo also announced Fire Emblem Three Houses, which looks really cool. I'm excited to get a Fire Emblem game on the Switch. That was a huge highlight to me of their conference. I think that is actually going to be really cool. I am more of a newcomer to Fire Emblem, so I'm just looking forward to it. That's not till next year, but again, it's not like a 3-year down the road thing, so, you know, I'm pretty happy. This is not a brand new announcement, but Octopath Traveler is coming out, and they announced a new demo that comes out tonight, and so I gotta get that. I'm really excited about that, but I actually just got the demo, the old one, the original demo from a few months ago for Octopath Traveler, and I am beyond excited. So that's a game that comes out next month, and I cannot wait, and it was shown at a few conferences, and just nothing but hype for that. We have more news on Dragon Quest XI. We have a date, it's September 4th, so that's gonna be great. I'm overall let down that it wasn't announced, or sorry, it's not coming as a 3DS title. You know, kind of sad, and the biggest disappointment for me actually is the fact that it's PS4 only and that we're not getting it on the Switch. It's totally something that could be on the Switch. Honestly, when it comes to pretty much any game nowadays, if it's not on Switch, it's a little bit of a letdown for me. That's just personal. I really like the fact that, you know, you can play it on the TV, you can play it on the go. The fact that we have the Switch, it's kind of like when I get a title like that, kind of disappointed that it didn't come out for the Switch, but yeah, we're getting a Tales of Vesperia port. It's called Definitive Edition, and that's actually going to be released for like 1 million consoles, so I'm not going to go into that. Pretty sure it's coming out for Switch, so definitely buying it for Switch. I actually have it for Xbox 360, and I will never play it on Xbox 360 because I really don't ever want to touch that console ever again. There was a game called Twin Mirror that was announced. Don't really know much about it, but it kind of had like a Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain kind of vibe, and honestly, I really like games like that. I think that's really fun, you know, sort of a like a real kind of like a narrative kind of style telltale game thing. So that looks interesting to me. I have that on my radar. They showed more of the Spider-Man game for PS4. I think that looks fantastic. September 7th. That's definitely probably like a Christmas one for me. I'll ask for it for Christmas. It's not a day one, but it looks amazing. Like, it's one I'm actually out of this whole list. That one I'm really excited for because I am a huge Spider-Man fan. So a amazing Spider-Man game is... yeah. They have Spyro Reignited Trilogy that comes out in September. For PS4, I think that would be really cool. I think that's also out for Xbox One, but I would get it on PS4. I never played Spyro just because I didn't have a PlayStation when I was a kid. I had an N64, so any chance to kind of get into it looks really cool. It looks like my kind of thing, so I'm definitely excited for that. More Death Stranding, of course. We don't have a date on that, but it looks really cool. This is like the third E3, I think, now since we've first originally heard about it, and I don't know when we get that. It looks really cool though. We got more, and that's okay with me, you know, whatever. If a game is not perfect, I'd rather they wait until it's absolutely phenomenal and then they release it to us. So if we don't get it for another 2 years, whatever. The Quiet Man, another game that was shown. I don't really know much about it, but looks kind of interesting, so I'll just mention the name because I feel like nobody's talking about that. These are games that I have somewhat hype for, and okay, so we've got Last of Us Part 2. I never finished the first one, but just seeing all the hype is kind of making me want to finish the first one and maybe possibly get it for PS4. I only have it for PS3, and I feel like I'll never ever play it for PS3 because I don't want to turn on the PlayStation 3, so I don't know, why not? It looks amazing. I get the hype. I'm just not, because I'm not on the hype train, I don't have much to comment on, but it looks great. Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced, and I'm not somebody who's gotten into the franchise, but again, kind of like Last of Us, it makes me want to get into it, so I'll have to play the first one and then slowly get there, but I feel like I have time, and it does look very interesting. Cyberpunk 2077 looks interesting. It's apparently going to be first person, which is not really my thing, but that doesn't mean I won't check it out. It looks really cool. But you know, I don't know much about it, but it does intrigue me. Now let's spew all the hate. Okay, so Nintendo, that was one of the worst Nintendo conferences I have ever seen. Now, I've not brought up Smash Brothers because I have zero interest in Smash Brothers. It doesn't mean Smash Brothers is not good. I don't personally care about the franchise at all. So, it's not something I would buy, so I'm not going to talk about it. But they spent like 3 years talking about it, and I just feel like we got you, like, you know, exciting, but it's kind of the same shit every time. You know, it's a fighting game. We get new characters, maybe, you know, new moves, whatever. I just feel like they spent way too much time on that. That's, again, opinion, and as somebody who doesn't care about Smash Brothers, I felt like, let's get going, see something else. And then the conference was over. And yeah, everybody's reaction video says this, so let's not dwell on that. But yeah, that is my opinion. I was really disappointed because, you know, they were like Fire Emblem. You're like, okay, cool. And Super Mario Party, that's neat. And a couple other things that they announced that were kind of cool. Then they talked about Smash, which we all expected. And then done? I was just really disappointed. Honestly, Nintendo, I thought that was pretty bad. I mean, here's why I don't like it. They brought up Metroid last E3, and they don't mention it this year. And I feel like, don't bring up stuff if you're not going to show us anything. I feel like that's weak. It's a bad move. And I know that Square Enix didn't even mention Final Fantasy VII, like the remake. They didn't mention that at all. And I feel like that's weird. Don't tease us with something like 2 years ago and then don't ever bring it up again. Like, they shouldn't have even shown Metroid last year, quite frankly. They should have shown the image of the, you know, what they showed last year. They should have shown that this year. And then next year we'll maybe get some footage. Because clearly it's not something we're getting anytime soon, but then they just kind of don't show us anything. Like, I just thought that was weak. Yeah, just overall, I was just disappointed. None of the conferences made me go, like, none of them made me excited at all. Just super disappointing stuff here. I've named a lot of fantastic games. But overall, I just thought it was pretty disappointing. Yes, again, I just want to put a disclaimer here. There are like a billion games I have not mentioned, and it's just because I'm not interested. So if you're like, why didn't you talk about Skyrim? It's because I don't play Skyrim and I don't care. So, E3, pretty bad in terms of what I was looking for. Nintendo is always my favorite, with Sony as my second favorite, sometimes tied, and I just thought Sony's conference was a mess. We won't even go into what they were doing there. It was just people talking at a desk half the time, and I was like, what the hell? And then Nintendo was just kind of like, Smash Bros, and we're done. So, super boring. I don't know. Honestly, I was just like, just really let down. There's not a lot I have to talk about. Half the stuff I'm talking about, like Death Stranding, Spider-Man, you know, Dragon Quest, we've seen all these titles before. I wanted something new. I wanted them to be like, with something, right? Nothing. So anyway, that's my E3 thoughts video. Overall, there's a bunch on here that I am really excited for, but I thought E3 was a total letdown. I will see you guys in my next video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Reggie, let's get that Mother 3.